Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about how to install a theme and how to use the customizer to set it up so that your pages have the information on there that you want them to have on there without having to reset a whole bunch of stuff every single time. So let me get started. Let me share my screen. Okay, I am in my WP admin dashboard, navigated to appearance, and I'm in themes. I recommend installing OceanWP as the theme that you use for your website. The reason I like OceanWP is that it has a lot of customization options. Its free version is spectacular. Like, there's not necessarily a reason that you would need the paid version. So the free version is great. It works so well with Elementor, which most of you know is my favorite page builder. I don't build websites without it anymore. So to find a theme that integrates so well with Elementor I just highly recommend it. I have already installed OceanWP, but if you don't have OceanWP installed yet, you would just scroll down in your themes. So you see this add new theme, click here, search for OceanWP. It will pop up. Mine's already installed. If it weren't, you would say install now and then activate. And then you're good to go. Okay, but we need to customize it. So I'm going to come over to customize. This is my husband's website that is not live yet because he hasn't given me any pictures. So no pictures, no site. It's our test site for now. All right, so here you'll see all of your customization options that are specific to your theme. Some themes have, OceanWP, like I said, it has a lot of customization options. Not all themes, if you're not using OceanWP, you may not see this many options available. Just work with what you've got. Most of them have some pretty common, or have a lot of customization options in common. So go through what you have. If you do have OceanWP, then follow along and you're in good hands. Well, I think you are. Okay, so go to site identity. This is just your site name and the tagline. So my husband has a construction business. He does tile and marble. He doesn't really have a tagline, but let's say custom tile and marble installation. I do not have a site icon for him right now. If I did, the site icon is this little, it's called a favicon or a favicon, I'm not sure how you say it, but it's this little bitty icon that appears in the tab of your web browser. So you can see I have Zoom opened over here. It's got its little logo. If I open my website, then it has my logo up here. But that's where that would go. So once I have one for my husband, again, no photos, no website, and right now no logo either, then that would appear there. In menus, this is where you get to decide what menu you have where. So you can have a different menu in your header, one in your footer, you can have one for your social links. Right now, I don't even have one set up for him for his header. So let's go ahead and create one. So I'm just gonna call this main menu. I want it here. And by default, if you select it for main, it's going to appear in your mobile. So I don't necessarily worry about that, but you can if you want. And click next. Okay. If you are adding new pages to your website and you know that you're going to have a fixed number of pages and you automatically want them to show up in your menu, then click this button. If you have a website where you're going to have some sales pages that you don't necessarily want in your menu, they're just going to be linked to other pages or they're going to be linked from other pages in your site, and that's how you want them to get there, then don't select that. I typically don't select it. Okay. On your widgets, there's not much to do whenever you're just getting started with this, but these widgets, see how there's a dark gray, almost black bar down here, and then a slightly less dark gray bar here? These footer widgets would appear in the second little footer area. If you're using Elementor, which obviously I recommend, You can set at least most of that up in Elementor. So I usually will get down here and I'm actually going to disable these. Then on your homepage settings, most people now want a static homepage for their homepage. Go to your homepage, it shows information that doesn't change. You can set it so that it's a blog, so that it goes to your blog page, but I don't recommend that. You can link to your blog on your homepage, but have some original content that people are going to want to come and see and then explore your website further to get to your blog. Your posts page, which if you have a blog, it's going to be your blog page. So keep a static homepage and then have your blog page separately. So we've already got it checked to a static page, so we're good. General options. There's a bunch of stuff here, guys. So just go through this one by one. Here you can set your primary colors. These are the default colors for the website. I'm not going to go through and change them right now, but if I were going to, you just click on one and you can say, I want this weird orangey rusty color to be my primary color. Okay, so that sets that. Same thing with the hover colors, borders. So it's got all these different colors in here. General settings. This is a very important page to go through, guys. On your general settings, this is what is going to define, first of all, your page layout. So do you want a sidebar? Do you want it on the left or on the right? Do you want no sidebar? How wide do you want it to be? I like to do widescreen rather than boxed. See if it have anything. Yeah, it does, I don't have anything in here to change. If it were boxed, it's going to leave a bunch of white on the edges, and that's kind of outdated in web design these days. So I like to stick with wide. These are generally fine. I don't usually mess with those. And I like to have 100% width on my site. So no sidebar by default. I don't want that. And same thing, no sidebar by default. Okay. The page title. I hate the page title. I don't know why it's a thing. I don't know. This is the page title, and that ugly gray bar, it just has your page name. Well, you clicked on the menu icon. You're going to know that it's the page title. So I'm going to put visibility. Why they don't just have hide everywhere here, I don't know, but I put hide on tablet and mobile. And then down here on style, I do hidden. And voila. The ugliness is gone. Okay. Scroll to top. This is what puts, see this little button that popped up here? I can click it and it takes me back up to the top. So I recommend viewing that. It has different options. And go with that one. You can increase the button size and the icon size. Let's see how big, see how the icon is growing. And you can change the color. You can change a bunch of things here. Pagination, I don't usually worry about that. You can change it if you want, but that's just for on your archive pages, when your archive would be where you have all of your blog posts. So not just a single blog post, but like when you go to your blog page, is it showing you all of your blog posts? It determines how the blog pages appear. That doesn't make sense. You just have to play around with it, but generally I don't touch that. The forms, I don't really worry about this because I set those in Elementor. And same with theme buttons. I don't usually do a whole lot. You can change the border radius if you want. I like 6. It just gives it a good rounded corner. But again, a lot of this stuff is set in Elementor. The 404 error page, you want to leave, oh, just a, oh, sorry, not enable. You want that off. See, as many times as I look at this, I still sometimes go back and forget what I'm doing. All right, so let's go. Next is typography. Oops, wrong button. Typography. Look at all these settings for typography. A lot of this too will be set in Elementor, your page builder, if you're using that, which obviously, again, recommend that you do. But you can get started by setting some of your general settings here. Nothing to do in the general tab. In the body, it pulls in a lot of the Google fonts, not all of them, but it pulls in a lot. Elementor does pull in all of the Google fonts. So if you want something specific that's not available in OceanWP, it should be available in Elementor. Okay, but you can just go through all of these same type of things. Set your default font family, weight, style, all of that. Cool stuff. The top bar, see where it says place your content here? I'm going to disable that. But this is what you see on a lot of websites they're doing now. They'll have like a dark bar up here that will have their phone number, maybe their address or an email address, their social links, and it'll just be a bar above. Let me see if I can turn on, yeah. So you can do a little different color here. But for now, I'm just going to turn that off. Okay, with your header, there are different styles that you can select. Now, a header is something that if you are using Elementor, they have some really good header templates available. So I tend to use the Elementor templates for their headers. They have a few more customization options. It just kind of depends on what you want, again. But the options that you have for OceanWP are good. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them. I like to use the minimal style, and I don't know why my menu's not showing up here. I guess I didn't set it up right. We'll go back to that later because there's another spot you have to check for your menu as well. So you set that, set it to minimal or whichever style you choose. You can put in a header video or a header image. Here's where you upload your logo. So I don't have his logo in here and I don't want to install that. So I'm not going to do that for you guys right now. But if you have your logo in here, that's where you go. Select a logo. Once I have a logo in here, his site title is going to go away. This is just the placeholder for if you do not have a logo. Okay, you can set different effects for your menu. Your link effect, this has different options for highlighting which link you are choosing in your menu. Okay, guys, and I'm going to take a break right here. Well, not take a break, but take a break from this. I'm going to publish this so that my changes are saved. Let me go out of here. We come back to my appearance, to my menus, because I want to be able to demonstrate. Okay, so I've created my main menu. I just don't have anything in there. So I want my home, add to menu, services, add to menu. Oops. And you can do that all at once. Blog. You can also do custom links if you want to link to something that is external to your site, or if you want to link to Facebook, like setting up your social links, you can do a custom link. Okay, so let me save that. All right, now let me go back to customize. Back to header, back to menu, and you can see now that I've got my home, services, and blog. Okay, so whenever I hover over this, it changes color, but I want it to do something a little more obvious. So let's say underline from left. So now if I do this, it underlines from the left. That's pretty cool. So that just gives it a little visual element so you know which one is being selected. Okay, and you can go through and change all your colors. Social menu, enable social menu, same thing. It's just going to give you different options if you want to include your social links. Okay. So you can enter all of your different handles, and it's going to automatically create that for you. And mobile menu. I don't really mess with this again just because I like to use the customization options that you can use in Elementor. Okay, for your blog, this is going to be for your archive page. So if you want your archive page to have a sidebar, some people do, some people don't. I typically don't. So I'm just going to put that to full width. And then your single post. I do like having a sidebar on my single post. So I'm going to leave that with the sidebar on the right. Oh, and one thing too. Because I use Elementor to create all my templates, I don't like having the featured image in the page header here. When you get to the point where you are customizing your blog post layout and something's weird's going on that isn't coming from Elementor and you can't figure it out, come back here. This is typically where it is. I'm just going to go ahead and turn off the featured image. And all of this stuff, you'll be able to see what it's doing whenever you're setting up your blog post. Like I said, if something weird is happening in Elementor that you can't figure it out, it's probably here. This is where you can customize your sidebar, the sides, what happens with your widgets. Your footer widgets, I'm going to turn those off because if I want them, I want to add them from Elementor. Footer bottom, again, you can turn it off and use a footer from Elementor. You can customize this text. Right now, this is saying copyright OceanWP theme by Nick. I'm just going to say copyright Nick Kaplan, tile and marble, all rights reserved. But I'll probably turn that off and add a footer from Elementor. Okay, the custom CSS and JavaScript, don't worry about that unless you know CSS and JavaScript. All right, so now you're going to publish that. We're going to exit. And we're going to go add a new page. So go to Pages, click Add New. And we'll just call this About. So I don't think I have an About page on there yet. Okay, now you can see, if you have OceanWP, you need to install the Ocean Extra plugin. That's what's going to give you these OceanWP settings. I don't know why they don't include that just as part of the OceanWP theme. I'm sure it's a coding thing, but you install the Ocean Extra plugin, and this gives you all of your themes, or all of your settings. So in the main, you have your content layout. We set our default to be full width, but if for some reason you didn't, then you want a page to be full width, then you would go here. Or if your default is full width, but now you want a sidebar, you would go here. Okay, same thing with your sidebar, margins, enable or disable. I usually enable them. The header, if for some reason, if you're doing a sales page and you don't want your header on here, then you just come on over here and disable it. Or sorry, that's the top bar. There's your header. Okay, I'm going to leave both of those on. You can also change, we set our header style to menu, or to minimal. You can change that to a different setting if you want to do that for each page. Don't recommend that. Logo, menu, title. If you didn't turn on your page title, or if you did not turn off your page title rather, in the customization area like we did earlier, this is where you would come to turn it off or on. And same with your footer, okay? So I'm going to edit my new page with Elementor. And you can see we've got 100% full width page, no blog or no sidebar over here, so we're good. And then this is where you get started editing with Elementor. And I've got another video that shows how to get started with that. So if you haven't checked that out already, then go ahead and take a look and you can pick up from there. So now I'm going to let you guys go. If you have any customization questions, hit me up. I'll be happy to answer them. Happy web making.